And hello one and all, back here up again with my second video of the day. This is going to be my review breaking down everything that took place on last night's edition of NXT, the September 14th, 2016 edition of NXT, which preceded the 2-hour finale of the Cruiserweight Classic. Overall, I thought it was just an average episode of NXT. Clearly we were in the phase of rebuilding the brand after, the call-ups for the women's division. It's kind of left it somewhat lacking, so we're going to continue to see that progress in the weeks to come. But there were some things that I did like on this show, and we'll get into that without further ado, guys. This is my review for this week's edition of NXT. So how do we kick things off this week on NXT? We have Samoa Joe get down there, go down to the ring, and he actually talks about the fact that he understands that he went too far, and that the entire time that he held the NXT title, he was a disgrace. And he said that Nakamura came to the ring, beat him, and was simply the better man. And Joe said, not only is Nakamura a deserving challenger, he is a worthy champion. So when Joe was saying all this, I knew something's up. He's definitely going to pull the rug out from under Nakamura. He calls Nakamura to the ring, and he says, he wants a rematch. And that's what Joe's whole point about this was. He says, will you give me the opportunity? I'm entitled to a rematch, so I want to hear it from you. I want to hear it from William Regal or anybody else. Nakamura, he builds up to it. He's milking it for all it's worth. The crowd's, going along with him, and he's like, rematch is on. Joe's like, okay. So they both exit up the ramp. They reluctantly, Joe gets back down into the ring, shake Nakamura's hand, and then just as they're leaving, Joe beats the holy hell out of Nakamura. He lays him out. He attacks him on the ramp, slams him into the steel steps. He Uranagi suplexes Nakamura onto the steel steps. It was great, vicious, brutal. Everything that you can think about Samoa Joe, just the way that he tried to lure Nakamura in and just, you knew this, what Joe was saying earlier, you really couldn't buy it. And then when he beat down Nakamura, they stretched him out. I really thought it was well done. Regal's fuming. He's pissed off. He goes in the back. He's like, where's Joe? And then Joe eventually speeds away in a car. So, yeah, the rematch is set. We don't know when it's going to take place, but I can't wait for it to take place. Hopefully it's soon, because I do want to see Joe make his way to the main roster, preferably on the SmackDown brand. I feel like it's time. They could drag it out until November. We'll have to see. But I'm looking forward to Joe versus Nakamura in the rematch. We then had Liv Morgan take on Rachel Faiazzo. Nothing really too much to say here. Liv Morgan locked in the guillotine, and Faiazzo tapped out. Afterwards, Morgan gets on the mic. She surprisingly challenges Asuka, saying that really the NXT women's division is kind of barren at this point, that she wants to lay claim to challenge Asuka for the title. So this kind of came out of nowhere. They're obviously trying to build Liv Morgan up, but there's no chance in hell she would beat Asuka for that title. Maybe, the more they build her up, we have to obviously see more of her in the ring. I do see some potential in Liv Morgan. But like I said, we are in a period where NXT really has to develop and rebuild their women's division. And, with Santana Garrett and Ember Moon, and you have Liv Morgan, and there's a couple others, women out there. Billie Kay. They do have women on the roster. It's just we're going to have to see how they progress and evolve over time. But it will be interesting to see how Asuka responds to this, but I think she would make relatively work at this point in time of Liv Morgan. So we had that. We then had Drew Gulak from the Cruiserweight Classic versus Hideo Itami. What I liked about this match was the level of aggression and intensity that Hideo displayed in this match. I mean, Gulak got right in his face, and then Itami just freaking kicked him and just laid in some stiff-looking kicks and shots to the head. And, I like this Hideo. That's what I'm pretty much trying to get out of saying this, is I look forward to his eventual showdown with Austin Aries. I know they've been hyping up that feud. So when we see that progress, we'll have to see in the weeks to come. But yeah, Tommy hit a hesitation basement drop kick on Gulak, and he hit the go to sleep, of course. Love when he does that. 1, 2, 3, just like that, beats Drew Gulak. So that's what I took note out of this match. Just the fire and intensity that Hideo possessed, and it's great. I'm glad he's really gotten back on track ever since that long injury that he was out for. So glad he's doing well. We then had the Authors of Pain make really quick work out of these jobber team, and they hit their finisher and they win. So they're building the Authors of Pain up as a dominant, unstoppable force. I think that'll be a positive thing for the NXT tag team division. So not really too much to say here. Ty Dillinger was in the back. He said the summer started off slow, but in the end, he is still the perfect, here it comes, 10. He is the perfect 10. We need to see more Ty Dillinger on this show. He's really good, and hopefully with NXT in this phase of rebuild, he will be one of the guys to flourish under that umbrella. So we'll have to see where they go with Ty Dillinger. We then had a pretty solid main event. It was No Way Jose versus Glorious Bobby Roode. And yes, that entrance, every single time Bobby Roode hits the ring, and that music plays, there's only one word that describes it. And I'm going to spell it out for you. No, I'm not, but you get the point. Bobby Roode, crowd fully behind him in this match. I liked it. Like I said, Roode was able to get the win after he hit the implant DDT, which I thought looked much better than, what was it called, the Glorious Bomb or whatever he was using before. This just was a better finisher, I thought. Joe got in some offense, wasn't a complete, total domination by Bobby Roode, but he's definitely primed for big things, and I cannot wait for him, to eventually be on the main roster, because I feel like the time is now. If he's already doing this well in NXT, imagine if he took that entrance and, his ability to the main roster. He could be one of the top heels or faces, however you position him on the main roster. So, yeah, solid match between No Way Jose and Bobby Roode. Not really too much to say on this week's edition of NXT. That's why I'm going to give this week's edition a C. It was just an average show, and we'll eventually see the quality in these shows improve. But right now, like I said, NXT is in the rebuilding phase, so not really too much to say, but I did enjoy the main event. Was solid, and I like the beatdown of Joe on Nakamura. So yeah, that's my thoughts and opinions on this week's edition of NXT, guys. Let me know down in the comments section below what you thought of NXT. What did you like, what didn't you like, and I'll respond to those comments in due time. So thank you again for watching this video. Be sure to check out my Cruiserweight Classic review. Just uploaded that, and any other videos as well. So yeah, that is it, guys. I will see you guys in my next video. So have a good day and take care.